We're gonna start off with a New York style pizza, the pizza of my people. It's gotta be foldable, it's gotta be giant, and it's gotta be cheesy. We're gonna make some adaptations to the recipe because we don't have a pizza oven at home, and that should still yield nice crispy bottom and bubbly cheese.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. We'll eat well and save money, because that's what we do. Welcome to Struggle Meals.
We start off with the dough. It's a yeasted dough. So here we've got a packet of Active Dry, and we're gonna hit it up with some water. You just mix it up around in the water a little bit. This is called proofing the yeast. We're looking for proof that it's alive. And if it bubbles, then you've proved that it's alive. The key to making New York style pizza at home is using bread flour. Bread flour's got higher protein than all-purpose flour. Higher protein means foldability, which is one of the pillars of a New York style slice. Can you get away with all-purpose flour? Yes. Will it be as foldable? No, it won't be, but it'll still be good. I mean, you'll still have pizza. I'm gonna just combine it with a fork here, grandma style. Got a little extra flour and some salt. Mix that around. All right. At this point, we turn it out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is kind of flatten it out, scoop this flour up, put it into the middle, fold it over, really try to get it to soak it up. All right, so this is starting to look pretty shaggy. I'm gonna try to really create a mass now. So we got a ball, we're gonna push our heel, we're gonna fold, and we're just gonna keep doing this as best we can. Okay, so it's starting to come together. You can see it now. The gluten is there. Look at how it's holding that shape. When I push it, it's bouncing back. All right, we put a little oil in a bowl like this. We work it around the side of the bowl, make sure nothing's gonna stick as it rises. Really important that we cover this. We don't let any air dry out our dough. I'm gonna put this in the fridge and let it rise for 24 hours. It has risen. Oh. So I'm gonna pull this dough out. We don't have a giant oven at home, right? We're not a pizzeria. So the size of our pizza is limited by the size of the oven, which means we're getting multiple pizzas out of this dough. All right, so let's get 4 pizzas out of this. Very nice. These are our pizza doughs now. So we can re-knead these and form them into their own balls. We're gonna let the gluten in those dough balls relax, which means it's gonna be a lot easier to stretch them thin so that we can have a thin New York style crust. We gotta make our pizza sauce. We're gonna start with the crushed tomatoes. So often when I'm outside of New York and then I see New York style pizza, it seems that the sauce is cooked before the pizza's made, and then it's cooked again in the pizza oven with the pizza, and then you end up with this very dark, almost purple sauce that's pasty and horrendous. So I like to have a raw sauce, and I think most of my favorite corner shops do it this way too. We want a good crushed tomato that's thick enough when it's raw that it will be just ever so slightly thicker and more intensified when it cooks. To make this sauce more New York style, we've got to put spices in it. That's just how we do it. We're gonna hit it with some garlic powder. All right. We'll come in with some oregano, and we'll hit it with salt and a little bit of olive oil. Bring this all together, and you can smell right away that this is a fantastic New York style sauce. Sauce is ready. Let's grate some cheese. The key to a New York pizza is a dehydrated mozzarella. We got our sauce, we got our cheese, now it's time to stretch out our dough. So let's grab one of our dough balls here, hit it with a little bit of flour on the work surface, a little bit of flour on top. Now I'm working this around, I'm stretching it, I'm turning it, I'm letting gravity pull it down. The more relaxed the dough is, the easier this will be. But you can use utensils from around the home to get it thin and fantastic. So I think we've got a pretty good sized pizza here. Some New York places use cornmeal on the bottom of their dough. This makes it a little bit crispier, and we're gonna use it so the pizza doesn't stick. This is looking good. We can kind of just build up the crust just a little bit. You don't have to do a whole lot, just give it a little something. Come right into the middle with some sauce, and we'll use the backside of a ladle to spread it out to the edge. We're gonna hit it with our mozz now. You want a nice, even sprinkling of cheese, okay? We'll hit it with some parm now. This gives a nice nutty flavor. We'll finish it with a little bit of olive oil on top. We're gonna put this in the oven until that dough is cooked through and the cheese is all melted and just starting to turn brown in some spots. All right, it smells really good. Honestly, this smells like a pizzeria. Let's slice this up. I'm gonna cut this into 4 so that it can fold really well. There's a lot of New York places that cut with scissors. If I take my middle finger and my thumb and I slide it right underneath the crust here, and then the index finger comes like that, you wanna be able to get a fold where the end doesn't droop. To eat this like a real New York slice though, I think we need some condiments. To the packet drawer. Parm. Red pepper flakes. Now, listen, this slice is not as big as a New York slice, for sure. But again, we were limited by the size of our oven. I am, however, very happy to report that this comes out to 49 cents a slice. All right, let's dig in. This is very delicious. Forget about it. This tastes like a New York slice. The cheese is there, the sauce is perfectly spiced and seasoned, and the dough is chewy and foldable, which is so important to me. We don't have a brick oven, but you know what? We were able to mimic that New York slice's flavor and texture right here at home.